Hello, men, women, and children of all ages, and welcome back to the Geek and Wife Chronicles YouTube channel. I'm Brad.
And I'm Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about the feature film Wonder Woman, starring Gal Gadot
and Captain Kirk.
And Spud from Trainspotting. No starships and no pooping in this movie.
No, thank goodness.
Yeah. I'm sure people pooped off set, but definitely not in the movie, and there were definitely no starships. If there were, they didn't show them. Anyhow, we want to talk about the movie because we just saw it.
Oh, wait, though. If you didn't catch it in the title, if you don't want any spoilers, you better get on out of here because we are going to give lots away.
It's not going to be spoiler heavy, but there's definitely going to be some key spoilers that we will wreck the movie for. So yeah, get lost if you don't want spoilers.
Go see it. It was good.
Don't watch our review. Go see the movie.
Yeah. Then watch our review.
Without telling you who Wonder Woman is, because everyone knows who Wonder Woman is. I mean, if you clicked on this video, you know who she is.
Yeah.
The basic, plot of the movie is that it starts out with a young Diana who then matures through to adulthood and learns how to be a warrior princess and is trained 10 times harder than every other Amazon. Even though her mother at first is against this training, she eventually is on board with it. Mm-hmm. And the Amazons live on an island called Themyscira, which is hidden from the world of man. They literally live under a dome that makes them invisible to the world of man. That is until the world of man comes literally crashing into their world. Yeah. And the people on Themyscira get their first taste of the world of man as it is today. And Diana,
she sees her first man.
She sees her first man. She's never even seen the world of man. She's only ever known the island. Mm-hmm. Steve Trevor washes up on shore, and from there, Steve Trevor informs her that there's a big war going on and millions are going to die, and that he's a spy, and he's got this very important notebook that he can't read.
Yeah.
It doesn't have English in it. And at that point, Diana decides that because of all the wars, that it's Ares who is on the rise again. Mm-hmm. Now, Ares in the film is shown to be someone that has already murdered all the gods, and Zeus had to strike him down, and he's been depowered ever since, except for now he's on the rise and responsible for World War II. Diana, against her mother's wishes at first, decides she's going to take a venture to the world of man, and she suits up, gets her Wonder Woman uniform, gets the sword, gets the shield, has the lasso, and eventually gets her mother's blessing just as she's leaving, hops on a boat with Steve Trevor and goes to the world of man, and ends up in London, England, where she begins that journey to make it to the front lines of World War I so that she can slay Ares, the god of war, and hopefully end the war just by doing that. She's convinced that she will end the war when she does that. That's the basics of the movie. Yeah. Now, there's character development along the way with Steve Trevor and with Gal Gadot's character Wonder Woman, and that's what we want to talk about, the whole movie and what we thought about it. Now, first of all, I'm going to let Margaret talk about what she thought about the movie, and I'm going to chime in.
Okay, so for me, I mean, I'm a fan of Wonder Woman as a kid because I think it was the McDonald's Happy Meal toys that exposed me to it first.
The cups that were based on the Superpowers collection. We still have that, by the way, upstairs.
But for me, like, even if you're not a Wonder Woman fan, watching this movie is everything you need to know about Wonder Woman. They go through the whole origin story, and I really loved seeing her go from this, like, innocent, knows nothing character, and it was hilarious, her, like, learning things about what humans are like and what mankind is like and what the modern world is like. I mean, well, modern as in 1916.
Back then, modern. Past modern.
But seeing Steve, teach her things and seeing her try and kick in a dress was hilarious.
Yeah, and try ice cream for the first time.
Ice cream
that was good. That's actually based in the comics. Now, the one thing that they didn't do in her origin, the original origin of Wonder Woman, amongst other things, had a competition where she would win the Wonder Woman uniform and be able to go to the world of man and represent the Amazons there and be an ambassador of peace.
Oh.
The movie didn't have that.
Right. She seemed more like the rebellious teenager running away from her mother's wishes.
She felt like she had to go to the world of man to destroy Ares. She doesn't know when she leaves that she herself is a god. I think that the way that they set this movie up by having it start on the island and then bring you from her childhood all the way to her adulthood, and then you see this innocent, good, loving, but strong and independent woman step out into the world of man. Mm-hmm. I think what they did with all the character development along the way was really, really well done. They did a good job of making you like the character of Wonder Woman rather than just feel sorry for her or think she's stupid or goofy. They did a really good job of making her an endearing character, and we don't always see that in a lot of superhero movies anymore. Now, the character development of Wonder Woman portrayed by Gal Gadot is, I think, exceptional, and I think that it's accurate to how Wonder Woman behaves and is portrayed in its original source material in the comic books. I think that the writer and the director and Gal Gadot herself have done an excellent job of rounding out this person that you empathize with, you can relate to, and you also are rooting for to win throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Was the movie perfect? No, absolutely not. I mean, you try to give me the definitive definition of what a perfect superhero movie is, and you're just going to be telling me your own bias. And I can readily admit that my review of Wonder Woman is based on my own bias. And you might feel like Logan was a perfect superhero movie, or maybe Deadpool was a perfect super movie. And I think they've all got things to bring to the table that make them excellent additives to the genre. And Wonder Woman is no light hitter to the genre of superhero movies.
No.
She's a heavy hitter in herself, and she should be. It's Wonder Woman, the greatest, in my opinion, the greatest female superhero that's ever been created. So I'm curious, what did you think of the overall message of Wonder Woman? There was a message, definitely a message of love in Wonder Woman, but there was actually a phrase that was used that tied the whole movie together. Do you remember what that was?
Well, there was the advice from Steve's dad that was kind of said closer to the beginning of the do nothing about a problem or do something.
That's right.
And so that was kind of her motivation to leave the island. The whole plot device was, do something or do nothing.
Yeah.
And then there was also the message that kind of got her to fight Ares in the first place and keep going and not giving up, was that mankind, though we are corrupt, there is evil within mankind that has
deeply
nothing
flawed
to do with Ares, because she thought she killed Ares and
Yep.
man was still being evil. We don't deserve it, and yet love is what needs to happen anyway.
It's a belief.
Yeah.
And I think that those two central messages were probably, in my opinion, the best central messages that we've seen in a superhero movie to date.
Yeah.
Because you can't go wrong with the message of love,
Yep.
and you can't go wrong with the message of do something or do nothing, but make your choice. And obviously, you're being led to do something. Doing something
doing the
was viewed in a positive light.
Yeah.
And that's almost like there's a phrase that says, evil prospers when good men do nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that you could also apply this to Wonder Woman.
Yep.
She decided, she saw injustice, and she wanted to do something about it. And that's an incredibly positive message for this day and age.
Absolutely.
The cinematography in this movie was excellent. I love the actual overtone they gave the movie with its coloring. The acting in this movie was great. It had moments where humor would then ease the tension.
Yes.
Steve Trevor's secretary.
I love her.
Every moment with the secretary was a moment of lightheartedness.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yep. Steve Trevor had a few moments where, his humor kind of came into play, and the movie, between having edgy moments and dark moments and heavy moments, you also had these moments of, laity, moments of lightheartedness and playfulness. And I think they did a good job of bringing that together, but not in a we're ripping off Marvel kind of way.
No, it was really balanced. And I loved the action scenes. Like, there's some movies that you go and see, and there's fighting scenes, and you're like, what am I even looking at? Like, it's a giant screen of, mess.
What is that?
And a bunch of, computer graphics, and nothing looks real anymore. But, they killed it on the action scenes. They were amazing choreography, and just the way that things flowed together was totally believable. The moment where you're kind of taken out of the story because you can see how it's not really real. That didn't happen. It was completely 100% pulling you along through the story.
Whereas when I watched the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, Out of the Shadows, the action scene at the end in the Technodrome was just, in my opinion, it was just awful. It just took me right out. It looked so CG. I just couldn't bear it. Now, if I was going to give this movie a straight up movie review out of 10, I would probably give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. I'm going to dock it half a mark. But there's a good reason why I'm going to dock it half a mark. And it's my own bias, right? The whole thing is our own bias and our own opinion. Even though this movie, in my opinion, is a must-see if you're a Wonder Woman fan, or even if you're not a Wonder Woman fan, you just want to go to a kick-ass movie, this is a must-see movie. And really, if you can get there while it's still in the theaters, it's a big screen kind of movie. You're going to miss out just a little bit if you just watch it on the small screen or wait for it to come out on Netflix or something like that. But I would dock it half a point. Now, it's not based on any kind of lack of the character development or the tone of the movie or the fact that it's actually a really positive ending. I'm not going to dock it on any of the costuming, the plot, character development. Did I say character development?
I'm pretty sure.
Either way, I'm not going to dock it based on any of that.
Okay.
The only reason why I would dock half a point is because I feel like they had a moment. They had a time that they could have really done just a little bit more to tie it into the existing DC movie universe, and they didn't. Bruce Wayne makes an appearance in the movie via a signed letter from him, where he sends Diana the original platelet of the photo that was taken of her and Steve Trevor and the rest of their little adventure crew during World War I.
Right.
But it would have been kind of nice to see someone else show up in the present day. Maybe Bruce Wayne actually shows up in the movie at some point near the end or whatever. Or maybe, who knows,
like a
the Flash,
scene?
something. Like they had Flash show up in Suicide Squad just for a moment, and they tied it together like that.
Right.
And I would have liked to see them do something just a little bit more substantial than...
Just a letter?
Yeah, than the little thing they did that, had Wayne... Enterprises and whatever, that would have been kind of cool. So I dock it half a mark for that. Even I know we're conditioned because Marvel does stuff like that, but to me that's a smart thing to do, to tie every movie together.
See, I don't care. I loved it. I walked out of there feeling like $1,000,000, and it was a great movie. Like the music, the costuming, the story, everything about it. I loved it. I was smitten. It was awesome.
And it is good to leave a movie theater feeling like $1,000,000, to feel good, to feel positive, like we've mentioned before. Wonder Woman does a good job of that, and it's entertaining, and you root for the good guys, and you don't like the bad guys.
Yeah.
And it's just, in my opinion, it's worth the money going to see this in the theater.
Absolutely. I give it a 10, and as a non-geek, I want to actually start picking up the Wonder Woman comics and read her story, because I want to know more about this character. That's how good a job they did.
Maybe we can get her to cosplay as Wonder Woman sometime soon, eh? Yeah? Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this review. We know it was just a little bit long-winded, but we got a lot to say, and there's the pair of us, and this is non-scripted. It's just us yakking in front of the camera. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you haven't seen it, we highly recommend you get your butts to the theater.
Yes.
Get into a seat, get some popcorn, get a big bucket of Coke, and just watch the movie and enjoy it. Take someone you love, make them watch it too, because you're all going to come out of the theaters, hopefully feeling like $1,000,000 smackers. Anyhow, that's all from us, so if you liked the video, please give it a like so I know you liked it. If you have anything to say, please leave it in the comments down below, and we will see you next time. Toodaloo!